Hey, what's up everybody? It's Ramona Remisat here, creator of the Intuition Gym and personal trainer for your intuition. I specialize in teaching you guys how to trust your intuition with unwavering faith so that you can take fearless action in your lives and in your businesses. Welcome to a new episode of Get Into It. It's May 21st. And we just had a long weekend here. Unfortunately, it didn't really feel like patio weather. It was more like wearing a hood or something on your head and gloves because it was still chilly. Hi, Christy. Nice to have you here. So anyway, here we are. Today I want to talk to you guys about a question or answer a question that I get asked a lot. And that question is, how do I get good at my intuition? Really, when people are asking that question, what they're wanting to know is how they can get to a point where they feel they are getting clear, accurate, and reliable messages from their intuition, right? That's the whole point of it, right? It really is that inner GPS guiding us through life. And so we want to be able to understand what it is telling us. Now, the tricky part with intuition is that it rarely comes through with complete set of instructions. More often, it is a piece, it might be a little feeling, it might be a symbol, it might be something you hear. So it's kind of hard to figure out what all these detached things mean and how do you put it together. So you kind of have to play a little bit of an intuitive detective role, right? And a seasoned detective, what makes a good detective is somebody that has been in it a while, and so they understand characteristics of things, and they start to be able to see patterns in things, right? So that's kind of the point that we have to get to with our intuition in order to get really, quote unquote, good at it. So I want to share something with you today that you can start to do that will really help you, again, pump up your intuitive muscle. Now, this one takes a little bit of thought. And if you have a piece of paper and a pen, you might want to jot some of this down because there's a couple steps to it, okay? So like a detective, they usually have to fill out an incident report, right, on certain things that they're, trying to figure out. So that's really what this is too. I want you to first of all think about a time when you received an intuitive message and you followed it through and you had a really great outcome, right? And I want you to think about that and write everything that you can remember about that time down in detail. That's kind of step one, all right? And you can even start doing this going forward. This would be a really good idea for you to start to do this on an ongoing basis. Now, once you've got that written down, then what you want to do, I'm gonna read you some questions, okay? So like I said, you might want to jot these things down. First thing is, when this situation happened to you, did you just have a knowingness about it? And if you did, describe that. So for example, I'm just going to give you this story. Years and years and years ago, I was about 4 years old, and my mom had gone somewhere, I think it was a bridal shower or something after work, and as soon as she got there, she just had this knowingness, I have to leave, I have to get home right now. Remember, this was in the era before we had cell phones and ways to communicate with people instantly. So she was like, I gotta leave. And she went home, and the minute she walked in the door, the phone rang, and it was the police telling her that my dad and I had been in a car accident. So that was one of the ways that her intuition was talking to her, was just this knowing about something. So that's what I'm talking about. If you've had a knowing relating to the situation, that you had a good outcome with your intuition, write down what happened, okay? If it was more like a flash of insight about something, then journal that as well. Describe that in detail as to how it related to the situation. Okay, so you might have had that. You might have had a flash of insight. If you didn't, hi Eileen, nice to have you here. If you didn't have that, that's okay, you can skip it, okay? Because remember, intuition doesn't show up the same for everybody. Different people get it in different ways. So this is also gonna help you pinpoint how it's speaking to you, all right? The next was, did you have a physical sensation in your body, right? Sometimes people say, oh, I trust my gut, but not everybody gets those gut feelings. However, if you had a physical sensation, Describe that. Where was it in your body? Describe that. Okay, write that all down. That might happen. That happened to me one time when my husband and I were hiking. It was a pretty extreme scramble up a mountain, and at one point we were socked in with fog. We couldn't figure out how to get down. He started going down this way, and I just said, stop. I just knew, I had this strong feeling that was not the way. And good thing that we turned and went a different way, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. If you had a strong physical sensation in your body that came with this intuitive message, journal that. Did you perceive this intuitive message as a positive or as a negative? If you had either of those perceptions, write that all down. Perhaps you heard a voice or had an auditory experience with this intuitive message. If that is what happened, I want you to write that all down as to what happened, because that actually happened to me as part of that situation on the mountain. I actually heard stop. Okay, so that is something else that can come through with your intuition messages. Describe what that sounded like if you had some kind of an auditory experience. Okay, was it your voice? Was it an outside voice? And how did you differentiate that from your normal self-talk? Because we all hear ourselves all the time, right? It's the self-talk, blah, 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 blah. You know, so how did this situation differ from the normal self-talk, right? Did you have an image that popped into your mind when you got this intuitive message? If so, you want to describe that. Or maybe it was more of like some kind of a symbolic, you know, representation of something. If that was the case, write that all down. And sometimes people even get smells associated with their intuition. So if you had a smell, a strong smell that you can recall, that was part of this experience that you had, write that down too. So what are we doing with this? Why am I making you write all this stuff down? Because it's going to start to show you how your intuition is interacting with you, how it is communicating to you, how it looks, feels, you know, how you sense it, how you perceive it, right? Thanks, guys. Couldn't see who that was. You guys are being shy. Come on, chime in here. Give me something here. Let me know if this is helpful. But it's going to start to show you how, like I said, you're sort of interacting with your intuition. And if you keep doing this over time, again, you're going to start to see patterns emerge. You're going to start to see characteristics emerge. So then when you have these intuitive experiences, you'll know, yeah, that's exactly how it shows up for me, right? And the more you have that, the more you can start to trust it, because you'll be like, yes, this is familiar. I am used to this. This has happened to me before. I understand what's going on. And then, like I said, you can trust it. And when you trust it, you're going to act on it. That's the whole point of having intuition. We want to be able to take action on what it is guiding us to do, right? So this is the first step that you can start doing to really start to build that muscle, start to see how it's coming through for you and understanding it more and more, okay? Now, if you're local and you want to take this a little bit further, on June the 11th from 9 till 12, I'm hosting a Trust Yourself workshop. How to really be able to take those steps to trusting your intuition with unwavering faith, like I said. And we're going to go more into how your intuition speaks uniquely to you, because that's really important. If you don't know how it's talking to you, you're going to miss it. So we're going to start with that, and then we're going to go into some actual practice things that you can be doing to strengthen your intuition. All right, so that's June the 11th from 9 till 12. And it's just $47. So if you want more information, please reach out. You can post here. You can send me a private message and I can share the details, okay? But that's what I have for you today, you guys. So I hope that was helpful. If you like this and you think it's helpful for others, please share it out. And I will see you all next Tuesday for a new episode of Get Into It. See you then, guys.